Yeah.
Come on. Let's go. We got the BTP, boys. Hey, the P, boys. I got the P, boys. I'll be back in 2 seconds or 3, boys.
Oh, welcome to Tavern Talk, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. Oh, that was a little abrupt. My name is...
Pump it.
I know, but it's... Yeah, let's go emo with piano drums. All right. My name is Ryan, and I'm super excited to introduce our guests, but let's just explain a little bit. Sorry about the confusion. We had this amazing topic... We're going to talk about the fourth age in the Black Tower, but Jansen cannot make it, and Jansen is our ringer. Jansen, that was his topic idea, and
this is his.
He wrote a thesis on it. He wrote a thesis, and he called me today, and he was like trying to explain to me. He's like, I can't make it, but here's my ideas. I said, no, bro, you got to come in and do it next week, and we'll have that show next week. So. That created a quandary, right, Dan? So we said, what do we do? What we're going to do is we're going to bring on the Black Tower Podcast Boys for this week.
What?
And next week, because there's just amazing.
A double header, Ryan? A 2 for 2? Like a buy one, get one free? Are we getting BOGO BTP?
Absolutely. BOGO BTP. But at 2/3 BOGO BTP, Josh and Daniel are backstage laughing uproariously. Like, I want to bring them in, but they're like so much spitting out every liquid they're pouring in their mouths. Every
time Josh drinks, it just comes right out of his face. It's like we're not even seeing him consuming the liquid at all. It's
Dan,
just like
bring down the funny for a second so that we can bring in our guests.
All right. Hey, Putin, right?
Yeah. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, Putin. Yeah, he's
No. Hey, all right, so our topic we're going to talk about is
climate change, right? Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's working, Dan. Everyone's leaving in chat.
That glacier the size of Manhattan. Yeah, that's going to fall. The Doomsday Glacier. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, what? Is that our friend Daniel?
Yeah, speaking of Daniel, when we get I'm sorry. Let me introduce
this. Ryan. Is that our friend Daniel? Well done, lad. Wow, special guest. You get the colored leaves and everything. Look at them slowly move. Look at see, Daniel's still laughing. Josh is like he needs to refill his drink because he's laughing so much. It's so crazy, Ryan.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh man.
Manhattan-sized glacier, friggin' Putin, climate change. Oh my god, you guys were pulling out all of the funny stuff.
Oh man. Hey, Daniel, have you tried airline food lately? And Josh actually had a white shirt. He had a
food. I don't understand, Dan.
Oh, it's horrible, right? It's like, this guy was sitting next to me eating a cheeseburger. I was like, what are you doing? Did you bring some for the class? I felt like I was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I was Mr. Hand. And I'm like, hey, Spicoli, did you bring some for everyone? This is our time.
How bad is it? So bad that everyone on the flight died.
Dun, dun, dun. Hey, guess what? You guys never checked. They say that there's inflatable shit under the seats. No one checks. There's not. There is not. There's no floaties under the seats. If you're crashing into the ocean, they figure you're going to die. Yeah.
No, Brother Dan, I love you. But also, it's that your seat cushion can be used as a flotation.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Yeah,
there's something underneath.
Brother Dan, every time he gets on a flight and they start giving instructions, he goes blah, 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 blah. And he does that thing where he pretends to crush him with his fingers. So yeah, like nothing is. Yeah. So brother Dan, the actual seat becomes a floaty. It's a floaty seat. It's amazing, Dan. It's amazing. You should feel safer.
You guys are boomers. That is the case anymore. There's a flotation device under the seat.
You guys
are boomers. They shrunk the seat down, so that is no longer a viable life-saving device. They needed to get something bigger, and they folded up under the seat because they cramped the seats down for big people like us. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Well,
I don't think I would actually be able to float with the seat cushion, so there's that.
I would be like the Titanic lady, and someone would be hanging onto my seat cushion. They're like, "Hey, is there room up there?" I'm like, "No, sorry."
Dear far, wherever
you don't breathe.
Daniel, if you're floating down, so cool. Your lifeless body was floating down to the bottom of the ocean. A group of angelic dolphins would pick you up, bring you to shore. like porpoise, marmosets, dolphins, and all of them will be there, resuscitating you.
I'm picturing. Have you ever seen the SpongeBob SquarePants movie with David Hasselhoff, where he is like torpedoing through the water, carrying SpongeBob and Patrick to their.
Brother Dan.
Oh, Ryan, play the music, right?
Woo! MaTsDaGger!
All right, you take it, Dan.
What?
It's the Brother Dan rap.
Awesome to see MrHowley in the tavern. Yeah, it's like a wyvern. That's like a baby dragon. It's like a cigarette where you drag on. It's
all right. So, gee, no wonder we only get one a show, Dan. No one likes you.
No, Ryan. Tavern was hard to start with.
It becomes like a punishment.
I should have just stuck with MrHowley. I could rhyme MrHowley. Shit. I could rhyme that like a whale.
Would you rhyme with Mahale?
Like I'm Noah getting eaten by a whale, and then I'm in there with all the guts and ribs, and then see ribs. See what am I gonna? Fuck! I put myself in like these cul-de-sacs all the time, Daniel. My rap skills are shit right now. I need to work on them.
I know you're playing chess. Rap is playing checkers. Or the other way around.
Yeah. No. MaTsDaGger, thank you, my friend. MaTsDaGger is the best. And actually, MaTsDaGger was on WOT the Adaptation podcast. So look up that. Because he actually has become a content creator. Yay!
Say what?
All right, thank you, Mistress Dovie. Yes, marmosets. Are there no water marmosets?
What?
That's why I laughed when you brought them up, because I was like, I'm pretty sure that marmosets do not live in holes.
No, yeah. I was like...
Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick, right?
Oh, all right, so what are we really doing?
In a hole in the ground.
All
Why
right,
the hell do you think they call it a burrow owl?
In the first place. Oh, well done, Josh.
No. They live, as we all know, marmosets live in a van down by the river.
Josh, you don't like these little kids here in the trailer park.
All right.
Oh, hey, Josh. Hey, Josh, who's that? Does that look like Bill Shakespeare to you?
Wherefore art thou?
To be or not to be? This is the multiple choice question, I suppose.
See, all of the above.
I always choose C.
Right. I want to know what everyone in chat is drinking and or smoking and or rubbing furiously for pleasure. Let me know what's going on to make you happy right now besides watching us, because I know this is not captivating enough. All right. But once I tell you the topic, you might be ruled and you might take your hand off everything and be like, what?
Maybe.
I need to focus. I'm going to take the stage. Here, let me go big screen. All right. Ladies, humans on all the spectrums.
Burp.
September 11th came and went in our great nation to little fanfare.
You know, Ryan, incidentally, I forgot.
Right? Yeah.
I was told never to forget, and I forgot.
See how easily you forget.
It's 9/11 today, and I was like, oh, shit, I forgot.
Yeah. I think Josh and Daniel forgot, but they just won't admit it publicly. Yeah. So we're not forgetting. We're gonna incorporate this as basically a motif. We're not getting political. We're not talking about America. We're going to talk about Wheel of Time. We're going to talk about all the 9/11s that occur in the Wheel of Time. Things that change the course of history, change society, change cultures. That's what we're going to talk about. Hey, bring in your friends and family. Bring in the children. This is a family affair.
Call Pete Davidson.
Oh,
Call
God.
Pete.
Wait, what?
God, I'm so Tams.
No, because he has lots of fans.
Okay, wait, I need no. Help me. Tams loves cats. Why the S on Tams? Help me out, Tams. How many Tams? Like, for really? Is it like for really? Like, you're my new favorite human. I love cats. I love Tam.
Butter. What is bourbon apple butter?
What is bourbon apple butter?
Not Tams loves cats. It's Tam love cat. But he had to put the S's on the end of all of them because he's in hiding. He has like an S dyslexia, so he puts S's on everything.
He's like, I'm sorry's. I has to put S's.
Ryan, by the way, that's a Michigan thing. People always say, "Are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got to go to the store." They're like, "Are you going to Kroger's?"
That's what I appreciate about
Are you going to Costco's? I'm like, it's
That's
Costco.
what I appreciate about you. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a Canadian thing.
Maybe.
All right, wait. So it's all his initials. So it's like a Tom,
TLC,
Arnold, Mandrake, Simpson.
The second.
Don't go chasing waterfall.
Llewellyn, Overture, Vulva,
Esquire.
Yeah, Esquire. Yeah. Help me out, guys. Like Samson, and then Cthulhu, Attaboy.
No, it's Tammy Lorraine
of
Constantine.
the Shimmering Ponds.
I told you this is gonna be a great show. All right, but.
Okay. Well, what's weird is he has 13 names.
Throwing swords at people isn't a legitimate form of government.
I know, it's all of his initials.
I didn't vote for you. Just got some watery pot through your sword.
I'm being repressed. Help, I'm being repressed.
I'm being oppressed.
All right, so I asked what everyone's drinking or rubbing. What did we get? Nothing.
Nothing.
No,
nothing.
Well, there was
nothing. Do you think I'm just
bourbon apple butter, Ryan?
I don't think everyone. Okay. Drinking some zombie dust. Thank you, Loyal's Library.
Zombie dust is good.
All right, MaTsDaGger drinking water. Too hot for alcohol. Smoking nothing. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Okay. Waterholic. Bourbon and okay. I seriously instantly thought he was talking about cocaine.
Bourbon and Coke.
I was like, shit. I was like, our fans are amazing.
Bourbon and Coke, yeah. I mean, Australia, Ryan, everything in Australia would kill you, except for the cocaine.
Yeah. You could do it's like that's where they got that pound of cocaine and Scarface. It's just it's like Australian Coke. Doesn't kill you.
Hey, guys, can I tell you a really, really funny story? I was in Ireland. And we met my sons met this kid who was 18 that day. And he was hanging out with his friends at a bar. It was his birthday. Dun, dun, dun. So they were playing pool. And my sons, like, they traded Snapchats and all. They're all good friends now. And they asked the Irish people to imitate Americans. And the two things they said was, I hope there's no fentanyl in this. And here, let me pay with my credit card. Those were their 2 impersonations of American.
That was their go-to.
The first one is so accurate that it hurts.
I know.
One, who the fuck doesn't pay with credit cards yet? Like, what are you?
I don't know. Maybe like at a pub or something. Only Americans pay with credit cards. I don't know.
I love. It's like that YouTube video. It's like someone teaching the Harry Potter cast how to speak American, and they're all. It's Tom Felton, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, and Daniel Radcliffe, and they're all like saying all these things like the Olive Garden. Can I get some mozzarella
Thank
sticks?
God it is
Charlie
Friday.
Sheen.
Winning.
Potato skins.
It's a good video. Well, for all of you who want to learn to speak American, okay, those are not bad go-tos.
Yeah,
I hope there's no fentanyl in this because really, I don't want fentanyl.
No, nothing,
right?
Coke. Right, nothing.
All right, what is that? Okay, Wall-E, the movie Wall-E. How many people watched Wall-E and instead of thinking, wow, this is a dystopian future where how many people are like, damn, that looks great?
That looks pretty
like,
cool.
I want to be that puffy fucking
be
dude.
fat and just like cruise around on my back like in a lazy boy everywhere. Sounds great.
Those are my peeps.
No, the one thing that I didn't find believable in Wall-E was that no one had, like, there were all of these crazy inventions, and yet there wasn't, like, nobody had come up with food that wasn't fattening. Like, come on. That's like the first thing we're going to use that kind of stuff.
Skeeter, you put it either in your mouth or up your butt.
Or it rubs it on the skin.
Puts the vodka on its skin or it gets the hose again.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean,
the dog in the basket. Put the dog in the basket.
I kind of feel like I could put $100. I want to put $100 bet right now.
On its skin, or it gets the hose again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you mean that big fat girl?
I would say that I want to put $100 that one person in this room has butt chugged, but I don't believe that they would admit it publicly. So I don't think this is a fair bet.
I never have. I think that's a waste of alcohol.
Butt chugging, but I have never done it myself.
Okay, so you're butt chugging adjacent.
You've seen it.
Sure,
You've been.
I am 1 degree away from.
Are you the butt chugger, not the butt chuggy?
He's a butt chug accomplice.
Yeah. Were you holding? Yeah.
I was actually not, but the person who was doing it did not have a bathtub, and they heard that the first time that you butt chug, you should do it in a bathtub because it's messy. And so they borrowed our bathtub. And by borrowed our bathtub, I mean they came over to our place and then butt chugged in the bathtub.
Did you film it?
And we're like,
whoa! Daniel,
that's
was this a very good friend of yours?
I think
it was actually not a friend of mine at all. It was a friend of one of my roommates.
This is one of the most premeditated butt chugging I've ever heard. I always thought butt chugging was like spontaneous and everyone like regretted it afterwards.
I would believe that in most cases, but this person had very little free time because they were working all the time, and they were like, I heard that butt chugging gets you drunk faster.
I don't have time to drink. Throw it at my ass. Come on.
Oh, no, Dad!
I don't have time.
Yes, 100%. It was 100%
I don't have time. Just throw it up my ass. All right,
they were like, I heard that butt chugging actually affects you far faster, so I want to get good at it because I want to be able to get drunk faster. And I was like,
I gotta practice, Daniel. Can I use your tub? I got an audition later, Daniel.
I will not say any names, but all of this 100% accurate, and there are 2 other people in the world who know about this.
Now there's 12 other people in the world.
18.
Oh, sorry, 18.
God, I swear my mother-in-law might be watching.
Oh, I wish she would like and subscribe.
All right, so let's bring butt.
It's peripherally. This is a tavern.
Which culture in Wheel of Time would butt chug?
Oh, alieners.
Damani.
Alieners.
Bringing it back. Oh, Damani are freaks. You know it.
Damani are freaks. They do that. Alieners, I could see the alieners butt chugging because it's efficient.
Why do you think they have 9 bees on their crown? It's one for every butthole they've chugged.
Can you define your terms there, Daniel? Josh is counting. He's like, all right, where did Tam fit into there? He had 9 bees, damn it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, so Iris Bear says Kyrian. So the breath doesn't. We're learning about our chat. We just like could culturally import the in the. Okay, it's a widespread practice in the slums of.
Okay. Wait, I can get in the outer city.
I love you, chat. This is great. All right.
How many
brother Dan, we've been trying to have these serious discussions.
The Black Tower.
Ryan, you asked what society would butt chug, and you have 8 answers.
This is the most like engagement we've ever had.
I am so impressed. Only the blood. Well, that might be what the lacquered nails are for.
Wait, are they butt chugging actual blood?
Oh, gross. Ryan, all right. Hold on. Ryan found the line and just like stomped on it and took a poo on the line to cross. There we go.
Oh my god.
All right, so let's talk about culture / world changing events that occur within the Wheel of Time universe. The first one, obviously, that we are told of is the breaking.
Mm-hmm.
The breaking. Yeah, go.
I was just gonna say, I think that's kind of a vague place to start though, because the breaking wasn't just like. I think a lot of people like to think about the breaking as being like, oh, in a week, all this shit happened and everything. It was like over the course of 100 years. Like,
yeah,
there was a lot of things happening during the breaking, and then like men
let's
would
call
go
the breaking
into the
era then,
and hang out for 50 years, and then go, all right, it's all clear now, right? I can come out, and they'd go insane and destroy a whole bunch of shit, and then they'd have to catch them and the whole thing.
The breaking is defined more or less by the world shuffling its luggage, more or less, in that 100-year period. So yeah, there were steadings, but suddenly the Ogier couldn't fucking find them. Oceans moved. Continents moved. Continents shifted. I mean, we had an entire sea folk that fled that whole continent because of the turmoil that was going on. So yeah, it wasn't one specific event, but it was more or less an era.
Yes.
The mountains crumbled, the oceans moved, the seas boiled, towns and cities went everywhere. Brother!
Hey, you know, Mean Gene, that mountain wasn't there just 2 minutes ago.
All right.
MJ Daniels trying
now,
to get some,
so I wonder who can relate to this. When I first read this, I just thought they were just explaining plate tectonics. right? Like,
okay, but there's something to that, because you can't just like, everybody knows if you go to the beach and you dig deep enough, you can find water like away from the water. And it's.
I thought you found China.
I mean, also.
Well, you gotta go through the water table first, though, right?
Okay.
But if you've got some dude who, I don't know, travels to the middle of nowhere and turns himself into a gigantic volcano spiring into the air, that earth has to come from somewhere, right? Like he's shifting all the ground underneath him, and that's going to upset the harmonious existence of all the plates and all the geology underneath there.
Are you saying that when Luz Theron made his mountain, he just like messed up all of the stuff in Tar-Valon and
there was
the island and everything that was there, and changed the way that things worked
shifting,
and like moved stuff around? Yeah, okay.
It was bad.
This is the church. This is the people. Open the door and see all the people.
I mean, even in Fires of Heaven, Rand is looking up at the top of a mountain and being like, "Hey, that looks like a dock. What is that, Asmodean?" And Asmodean's like, "I don't know. That could have even been where I fucking was born. I don't know. Who knows, man? Things got weird."
Well,
who knows, man? That could have been where I was fucking
I don't know.
born.
I was born on a dock. I don't know.
Oh, anyway, here's Wonderwall. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Asmodean to hit Wonderwall.
Maybe.
Little high chant Wonderwall.
And I'm like Lanfear.
Keep going.
Gonna be the one that skins me.
And after
all, which one of you motherfuckers is Avienda?
Yes.
Lavage, man, the lavage. I think the one of the biggest it changed overnight though. This one of the things that did change instantly, I think, you can disagree maybe, is it changed the public in general used to look to the Aes Sedai for help and support and power and strength and things like that, and then all of a sudden, by the way, half of them are gone. Half of them are not only able to help, but they will hurt you. The men will kill you if they see you, so that's not good. And as we know in the Wheel of Time, communication sucks. So there could very well be people that are like, are the women gonna go insane too? Like, it immediately changed the dynamic on how people saw channelers.
Correct. Keep in mind that at the White Tower, the Red Aja is the most populous. This is considered a noble cause to find and gentle men who could channel because of how fucked up it was.
Well, I mean, again, when you're sort of thinking about a situation of which one's actually coming up sooner, the last battle, which is presumably the sort of mandate of the Green Aja, or protecting the world from men, which actually happens every like 10 years or so, or whatever, like is going on.
Yeah,
like and definitely the Red Aja is going to be the one that's like,
And considering the fact that channelers live for so freaking long, it could be like, yeah, my grandpa used to talk about that. Good thing we don't have that anymore. Right. Very next day, male channeler leaves the Ogier setting and is like, hey, I think it's all better now. Kill everything!
Now,
to a certain degree,
he walks out of the setting and he's like,
well, so to a certain degree, I equate in my head the Red Aja as more or less being the TSA. We had a shoe bomber, and now all the male channelers need to get their
nobody's allowed to wear
just security theater. That's what you're saying? The TSA is actually security theater, and they've never actually once stopped a credible threat.
I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have, but they have an army. How many? So if there was at least, let's say, 20% of the all Aes Sedai were red. Maybe, I would say that there was probably about 20%. They probably were 1 in 5, based on how the numbers were. And so, yeah, they were reacting. They're not all going and catching male channelers. There's only one like a generation. However, the threat was so massive that they are checking every shoe. They're telling you to take off your belt. They're putting your laptop in this thing.
You said that's more the white cloaks. Actually, I think that more would like be indicative of the white cloaks.
Ryan, that might be our first poll. What culture is the TSA of Ranland?
I would say that the Red Aja still had validity because even though they were looking for the known male channelers, there are still men being born every day who have the potential to be channelers.
All right, Roke, I'm sorry. I need to interrupt. Brother Dan, I go to our own show to put the poll in, and the advertisement is about getting therapy.
What?
What are they saying about our family?
I think they heard the butt chugging conversation earlier.
Very quickly, the algorithm's like, help them. Okay. That makes sense. Thanks for the answer. That's a great answer. All right, so I'm saying, which culture is the TSA? Brother Dan, how am I saying? Which culture is the TSA?
Yeah.
And then what are the options?
Red Aja, White Cloaks,
Sean Chan.
Sean Chan or IU?
Sharans.
Oh, Sharans? Sharans? No, Sharans are nowhere, man.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
But TSA is everywhere.
The TSA is like one.
They're
place.
ubiquitous.
They're all in the airport. Come on.
Yeah, I'm thinking Shanchin. Shanchin and IU. The IO could be.
Oh no! Now the next advertisement, Brother Dan, is about having how much bacteria is on your loofah. Have you ever thought about how dirty your loofah is?
I am now.
Wait. Okay.
Fuck! I don't wash that thing. I figure it's washed. I put
I'm
soap
so
on it.
confused. I thought we had
soap
like.
it up and then I put it away. It's not washing itself.
Is this talking more about me or is this about our fans?
Loofahs are bad. No, it's us, Ryan.
All right,
no, loofahs are not bad. It's just your internet's trying to scare you. That's how they get clicks.
Is that what's going? Loofahs are not bad. Okay, thank you. I'm reassuring because I loofah the shit out of myself.
I actually bought my friend a loofah one time, and I was at his house, and another one of his friends who was a little bit gangster was like, and he was like, "What's that thing?" And he's like, "Yeah, my friend got it for me," and didn't identify. I was right there. He's like, "Who the fuck would buy you a fucking loofah?" And I was like, "Dude, loofah's gonna change your life, man. What are you doing using washcloth?"
Brother Dan, give me your best Morrissey right now.
Some loofahs are dirtier than others. Some loofahs dirtier than others. Some loofahs' mothers are dirtier than other loofahs' mothers.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you top that, Daniel?
I cannot, and I will not try because
all right.
I don't want to embarrass myself.
Daniel, why don't you go with more of a Moody Blues kind of a thing?
Okay.
Don't fear the loofah.
Loofah's
loofah.
Brother Dan, I think you got.
I mean, well done, sir.
If you want to wash your loofah, put it in the fucking wash.
Loofah's dirty as fuck, son.
Wait, what?
Oh, what? Go throw it away.
So I have. All right, so
you guys.
What if? Oh, yeah, right. No, this is gonna be great. So when we talk about the breaking the world and the reordering, and basically what we're experiencing in the books, which is we have a white tower, we have a whole system working against male channelers. The White Tower specifically, though, is one of the most dysfunctional institutions. Now it's like people talk about the post office being bad. Ace and I are going postal. Like, hold on, brother Dan, I got a whole thing I'm booking. Ace and I are going postal. I want to ask you too: is there something like specific about the breaking and the reorganization that creates such a disorganized system? Was it corrupted in some way that we've been able to pinpoint?
Yes and no. If you're actually looking for a serious answer for this, the answer is the White Tower was actually established by a bunch of women channelers who were running around trying to find each other to coalesce into one group, and all of those different groups that were being found were like, we think this is the important thing that you should do as a channeler. And then another group was like, no, that's fucking stupid. Why would you do that? We do this instead. And then another group was like, both of you are fucking stupid, and this is actually how you use, magic. And all of them got rounded up together by, a couple of very, very powerful and very authoritative women who went, guys, if we don't stick together, we're gonna get screwed. So all of you can have your thoughts on magic, and all of you can have your thoughts on the power, and all of you can have your missions, but you just do it from here. You do it from the White Tower. We stick together. We look out for each other. Be nice to each other. And so from the day that it started, the White Tower was always a little dysfunctional because it was a bunch of people with a bunch of different ideas of how to use the power that they had been given, or that they had been born with, or whatever you want to call it.
So is
in this kind of tenuous group of we look out for each other. And then they had 1,000, 3,000 years to just get even more corrupt and off the beaten path. So
yeah. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Josh, what do you think?
So I think the White Tower, what do you do in a battle when things are spread out and fucky? You regroup, you redraw your forces together, you create a position of strength, a position of a defensible position, which is why they chose the island. They could easily defend an island. It's a great place to be. They start out as a really strong organization, which is why they're able to establish so much power and influence to so many different kingdoms throughout the course of the next 3,000 years. Their power and influence doesn't start eroding until you have things like, there's a Shamael who's popping up every few hundred years. There's the Black Aja, and they're doing little teeny things to erode those kinds of things. And one of the biggest being, what, White Tower, you shouldn't go out and find channelers. They'll find you.
Why isn't that one of the Ajas? Why is not there a recruitment Aja?
Just good point. All right, real quickly though, to that point, Josh and Daniel, I was more leaning towards this point, and I hope the weight of the facts make you feel humbled. Daniel Lou, once Daniel Lou brings it's the Black Aja, dudes, and then Irish Bear comes in with blame Ishi.
I absolutely hear what you're saying, and I can very much appreciate that the Black Aja and Ishamael and the Forsaken and everything that they've been doing to try and undermine one of the most powerful organizations in the world is absolutely something that's happening. We have countless examples of just people being shitty in the tower. They don't need the Black Aja to come in and mess with them. They do it enough on their own. It's just to actually break the tower that's when you need the Black Aja. That's when you actually need the Forsaken.
So that's
when,
yeah.
But they're already nicely screwed.
Well, that's fascinating. Well, I mean, Daniel, that's fascinating because I always thought they if you imagine okay, everyone's the product of their environments, they're no one's living in bubbles. I assumed that the Aes Sedai that we're reading about now are that way because of a long lineage of training, and the very way they break them down and build them back up is the most dysfunctional PTSD inducing thing I've ever witnessed. And I just thought what we're reading now is just what you would see, the apple falling under the tree, the apple of the tree, the apple of the tree. We're seeing generations of this going on. I'm just wondering at the very beginning, why did they choose to be so dumb? Why was it so dumb from the start? It seems dumb, and doomed for failure from the very beginning. And I just wondered was there outside influence? How quickly did the Forsaken and Black Aja get involved in this to corrupt it? Brother Dan, do you have your hand raised?
I do. I have a statement. I don't want to interrupt them.
Let me know. Yeah. How what's your one high five?
It's hard to do. It's backwards. All right. Hey, brother.
Brother Ryan, let's.
Josh, down low.
Boom.
Josh, down low. All
right, so Daylin says, I think the Black Aja exploits.
The Black Aja is, let's remind, the Black Aja is a good 20%, again, of all the Aes Sedai are a part of the dark side.
Insignificant number.
No, it not only is it not insignificant, it is huge.
I think that's about the MAGA numbers, right?
I don't know.
I'm glad we're not going political with this.
Yeah, right. First Ryan's hey,
I think those are facts. So I think that's 20 to 25% of the. No, I mean I think that's just facts. But go on.
It's just facts.
Wait, the Black Aja is not just. It's 20% of all Aes Sedai. Yes. The red Aja that we've seen is kind of being evil because most of the people that we get viewpoints from are not red, see them as evil. And those are a higher percentage of all Aes Sedai. And so the good Aes Sedai that are not red are a very, I don't know, it's a small proportion, it seems, when you do the math.
But okay, let's shift gears to Lord of the Rings, though. Gandalf has a quote where he talks about Saruman thinks that it's ginormous acts of incredible power that change the world. I disagree. I think it's small acts every single day that steer the course of the world. Now,
Gimli would be all for big acts.
That was paraphrasing, obviously. If we apply that to the White Tower, small choices every day, and this can be applied to our lives. Small choices every day, this way or this way, it doesn't matter, will ultimately decide the course of our lives because it establishes habits, it establishes precedent. Eventually, the White Tower gets to a point where they are so about themselves, they are so into themselves that they think nothing I do is wrong because look at me, I'm the White Tower, bitch. But then you get the Forsaken that have come out and they're like,
I'm Brittany, bitch.
You guys are a pathetic shadow of what Aes Sedai used to be. You are nothing compared to your predecessor.
And as a reader, then you meet the wise ones who are organized in a very, very, very different way to, I think, juxtapose and counterpoint what's going on in the White Tower.
Right. And when you pull back and you think, all right, there's an entire Aja dedicated to logic. There's an entire Aja dedicated to diplomacy, and there's some of them in the White Tower. Why aren't you going being diplomatic? God damn it! Go.
Well, and exactly that's actually that on our show. Why aren't there green Aja stationed at the borderlands?
Right.
Well,
That's
and this
where
is
the dark
again,
one comes. Yeah.
this really is one of those instances where it feels very much like what sort of Josh was talking about earlier, of the idea that I believe with full confidence that there was a point at which the Aes Sedai who actually were part of the Battle Aja, whether it was called the Green Aja at that point or not, or whether it was just, Aes Sedai who were deciding that was the important thing, were 100% stationed at the border. 100%. They were there. They were on the ground. They were fighting Trollocs every week. They were pushing back the blade as much as they could and trying to do everything that they could to make sure that it didn't go further. And at some point, somebody said, ugh, why are you guys doing that? That's so stupid. You guys should be in the tower helping your sisters. We should just... And then they came back to the tower and they were so much more comfortable at home. They were so much more comfortable going out and sitting in the tower doing no fighting. None of them died.
Is this a wall
fighting? Getting fucked by 3 guys. Yeah.
Is this a wall? This is a Wall-E parallel, right? They all became like fat like Wall-Es. Is that what you're saying?
Right. I don't know what this Wall-E
exactly, yes, 100%. And again, it's the idea that you were talking about earlier of there are plenty of people who sit there and look at Wall-E and go, yeah, no, that actually looks really good.
Yeah,
that actually looks really fun. I
was like fighting shit.
And so you're getting all of these people who come back and decide, oh, actually, this is better. This is nicer. I don't want to go do that thing anymore. And as you said, Ryan, once you get generation after generation of people who are being born into, raised into, and living that life, now when you go ahead and say to an entire Aja, like, what are you guys doing? You should be on the border. They're like, somebody else has it. They're fine. We're good. We don't need to go up there. And you're like,
well, I mean, so I want to argue again. What? So what? Then, like, why is that not the case with the wise ones, who hold as much power, not over the world, but over their own world? Like, why are they not so like?
I think because of septs and families and shit. You can't consolidate. They're all part of septs and clans and societies, so they represent that.
So here's
remember the hierarchy of the White Tower versus the hierarchy of the Wise Ones. Where do the Wise Ones live? Who do they deal with every day? Are they just dealing with other Wise Ones and only ever talking to other Wise Ones, just like the Aes Sedai are in their White Tower, almost exclusively dealing with Aes Sedai on a day-to-day basis?
No. They're the occasional tinkers who come through town. There are tumbleweeds.
Well, no, but again, they're dealing with the Maidens of the Spear. They're dealing with the clan chiefs. They're the healers of their area. But they're out with their people. They're healing them from the bites that they get from the.
Of course,
correct, Daniel. You were so right. The greens are not going out and doing battle. The yellows aren't going and doing opening clinics everywhere. There's no like free hospital in Andor that like a yellow is sitting there healing people.
And that is the difference between the isolation mantra and
ivory tower of the White Tower. Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, so I guess fundamentally, and let's kind of hone in on this if we can. What is Robert Jordan trying to say to us? Like, when he introduces the Age of Legends and there's this cooperation between Side In and Side R, they were able to like get to great lengths, great heights, right? And now we are at an age where like there's no cooperation. All systems seem dysfunctional in every way. And I feel like this whole age that we're reading is like a big whoops. And like, right? Like, and something is going on. Like, either we are like, so I like to think about what is Robert Jordan trying to say to us. And is it that?
First thought when you said, like, you know, talking about the men and women working together in the Age of Legends was I was like, a link is between one man and one woman.
No.
It's not. It's actually between a lot of men and a lot of women. So
yeah,
I think
polylinks. Yeah,
it's a big
really trying to go ahead
it's
and
a
just
polycule, which
exactly.
is the best kind of cule.
Well, Robert Jordan was pretty specific about gender balance. The balance was based on gender greatly. And that even though I think the Two Rivers was fucked up, he writes it as if Emmons Field is actually a pretty balanced place. And I think that the White Tower, to a certain degree, without having where men are all subjected, either warders or servants, or where women they essentially. The way that Robert Jordan was writing it is that these women only respected themselves wholly. In fact, they did not even respect wilders. There was almost a caste system. And I think that might have been because there was this lack of gender balance in the power that was being held. And so when all men were being warders and all women were being the person in charge, which is more or less a Adam invisible motherfuckers. Fucking land got passed off like a dog. Anyway,
you could say marriage is Adam invisible.
No, it's a contract. It's binding. I mean, so
warders agree to it.
We have most that were bonded against their will. I mean, it has the power of an Adam almost.
But again,
Adam Light.
Yeah.
Ryan, I do want to mention two things. Most warders did go into it willingly, but then which of them actually had the power?
Good point.
Was it actually equal between the two? Because the books say that it definitely fucking wasn't.
No, good point.
Until they sort of double bond and things like that. But and number two, the other sort of piece of that is warder is basically for life. Like, we only find out about people sort of passing warder bond between each other in very, very rare cases.
Yeah. What did she say that it had to happen?
While most people do actually, or not most people. Well, there are definitely still some people who think that marriage is till death as well. There are a lot more reasons that you could go ahead and just get out of a marriage than someone having to get rid of your bond. Just saying.
Yeah.
It goes to one of those basic decisions, though. If you want to go back far enough, at one point in time, the Aes Sedai made the decision of isolation. We will separate ourselves. We are a separate, elevated organization. We will help the people from on high, because that is what we do. And it's not necessarily
we will help the people with what we think they need.
It's not necessarily a bad decision in its inception, but over the course of several thousand years, with the help of numerous other small decisions, it evolves into an organization that is out of touch with the people and then can't help the people because it has absolutely no idea what they need.
Well, not only do they not help the people, they also have eyes and ears of their own Aja that they don't share within themselves. There's an internal conflict always going on.
Because when you have that self-importance, eventually it precurses or precludes other people of your same organization. You start to think you're more important.
So why is it? So we have queens who live in buildings that modern technology can't build. We have we have a world that has vestiges of a previous age that was way advanced. Why is it that this age is not anywhere near that. Like Rand comes in and he's like, hey, let's start studying this. Let's do this. He seems to be like trying to get it. Yeah. What, is that your gang sign?
Yeah.
No,
my blood.
There are three major reasons that's true.
Yeah. Break it down, because that's and then get at what do you think Robert Jordan's trying to tell us? Like, what's the lesson?
So I would say that first and foremost, the biggest difference is that in the Age of Legends, according to the story that Robert Jordan has made effectively, while there was the Dark One, he couldn't touch the world. He was completely imprisoned away from the world and had no direct contact. And the number of like dark friends and things like that were actually much less, if not pretty much non-existent in the Age of Legends.
Why though?
Because the Dark One was utterly imprisoned and there was no hole in his prison. It wasn't until the end of the Age of Legends that the hole in the prison is made, and all of this stuff kind of comes rushing out of the Dark One being able to act on the world. Number two is that now half of magic is ruined. And so they talk about regularly all of the greatest accomplishments of the Age of Legends were made by men and women wielding Saidin and Saidar together. When you eliminate half of that equation, you advance way slower. And number three, the women who are still using Saidar are very afraid of it, given what has happened to other people. And when you go ahead and fear progress and fear going ahead and looking into what people had in the Age of Legends, and fear looking into ter'angreal that were made by that at that time, and all of this different stuff, fear is another huge impediment to your ability to make these giant, sprawling, amazing advancements in technology and magic, because you don't have half of what you need, you're getting screwed by a dark power, and you're afraid of it.
Yeah. And to your point, I mean, they're like kindergartners in a electrician shop, and they're like, "Oh, I just got buzzed. Don't touch that."
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so now let me put out that why is it that in this age that's so problematic, so troublesome, so disunited in almost every way, we're able to get a Rand who was able to, I think, do something that had never happened before? Or do you think this shit's just happening every time the turning of the wheel?
I want to reference the TV show here, which I think might be problematic for some, but I think it's very valid. There's a scene in which Rand and Tam are hanging up a lantern. And Rand says, "How long does it take for the wheel to spin someone's soul back out?" And Tam says, "Wish I knew." And then he goes on to a speech about, we get a chance to try again and maybe do a little bit better the next time.
Yes.
And I think it's such a powerful speech based on what we know about the last book and about Rand's revelation. And I feel like when it comes to and even Illa, one of the
Isla makes a similar sentiment.
She makes a similar kind of thing. I don't live this life for me. I live this life so that hopefully, when the wheel turns again, my granddaughter can have a better life. There's something supremely noble about that. And I hope that the White Tower isn't stuck in some kind of loop, making the same choices and making the same mistakes over and over again. Now, granted, it's kind of an unfair assumption to make because you don't have the benefit always of knowing the past mistakes, especially when they're 15, 20, 100,000 years ago, Like, who the hell's gonna know what happened 100,000 years ago? Nobody.
Right, but
hopefully,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but hopefully, they're improving. There's the rub.
Well, and the difference between that and us is that there is no faith in the Wheel of Time, besides like Massima, who turns out to be kind of a zealot kind of thing. But as far as like a faith in deities, it doesn't exist. They know there's a dark one. They know there's a wheel. This stuff they know, and it is fact. They blah 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 blah.
This pouring moment is brought to you by the Black Toe Podcast.
No, and so
by the way, guys, Black Tower Podcast. If you have not checked them out, I'm sure everyone in the chat has. I'm sure everyone who's watching has. But Black Tower Podcast is OG. They and they're fun because they are. They're hitting new topics. You guys are still being fresh and hitting new topics. No,
yeah.
For real. You guys, that's what we're trying to do on Sundays, is to try and hit new topics if we can, and you guys do that.
No, it's incredible. They've done this whole
series. It's not
series.
Easy work, but it's God's work.
I know. You've been analyzing the taint and having several different male figures come in, and you taste their taints, and it's been amazing. Yeah,
we're going to be doing a lot of that here in a couple
groundbreaking.
Weeks in LA.
Yeah. At TaintCon?
If you guys want to bring some puppet taint to the Gathering Madness, we'll definitely go ahead and figure out what it is that a puppet taint tastes like.
Chipotle felt.
Chipotle felt.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that.
Yep.
There we go.
You know, I've made Josh spit literally 2 times liquids out, but I've not made him do that, Dan. You got me. You bested me. Like, I have a spit take secret list. I notches on my bedpost.
I got him.
I was legitimately happy that I did not have drink in my mouth at that point, because it would have been like...
All right, so
again, puppet.
Beautiful. So let's talk. So the Black Tower is also a horribly corrupted and dysfunctional system that we're going to get into Black Tower podcast, Black Tower 4th Age next week. But I want to juxtapose Black Tower with the White Tower. Do you think Robert Jordan is saying that all systems of power are easily corrupted, and that both of them have been like infiltrated so easily by the dark one? Or is it that the dark? What are we getting at? Like, what again is the message? What is Robert Jordan trying to say about it? Go for it.
I think. I would actually say that both are examples that Robert Jordan is making of be careful who you trust. Be careful who you give power to. Be careful who you sort of leave people with. Because, of course, in the White Tower, there's just so much distrust. And nobody trusts anybody, and they have to go ahead and learn to work together. They have to go ahead and learn how to actually be a cohesive group, because the divisions in the tower and the non-trusting each other and everything is a perfect breeding ground for Black Sisters, for the Black Aja, for the Dark One's servants. And in the Black Tower, it starts right from the get-go. Rand is too trusting. Rand absolutely hands over power.
Rand has no interest in this fucking thing at all. He's like, you got this? All right, thanks.
He doesn't check on it at all, and he just hands it to one person who he's like, yeah, you've got this.
This guy who says so-called IEO, and you're like, wait a minute.
I got a question. Was he relying on Min for that? Like I mean, I never felt he trusted him, but was he relying on Min to be like, okay, we're gonna get to the point, and it's gonna be bad, but I'm gonna like. I don't think I don't actually believe he trusted Mazrim Taim. There's so many. Yeah, he didn't trust him at all, but like he somehow, he let him go, which is so weird, and I always wondered why. And maybe could it be Min?
So again, the question there is, what are you talking about as far as trust? Like, are you talking about actually going ahead and trusting him at his heart and like being like, yeah, this guy's good and this guy's fine, and I know that he's got my best interests at heart, so that kind of trust? Or are you, because it isn't that kind of like in your heart trust. But it's definitely trust.
No,
to go ahead and just hand an entire tower
game respect game
to someone.
Yeah,
and
you don't gotta
never
like
check on it. Like, there is still a certain amount of trust there to never check in, to never come back.
So
to
you just
be so busy all the time to give no balances and no checks whatsoever, and to just say, all right, cool, well, Mazrim's got it, and if he fucks it up, I guess he fucks it up, and there's that. But again, it's still a certain kind of trust.
What do you think, Josh?
Good point. Didn't she read Mazrim Taim for him though?
I mean,
yeah.
I think, and we've discussed this a number of times on our show, and I think the big message that Robert Jordan is trying to get across is that isolation is always a bad thing. If you are ever in a place where you are alone by choice, you are making a poor decision. We've looked at, we've done a comparison between Logain and Taim, and in the story, the key difference between those two men is that Logain has men loyal to him, people standing next to him, willing to look at him and saying, Logain, are you fucking up, bro? That's a bad choice. Don't do that.
Logain, are you fucking up?
Logain, are you fucking up?
Logain, you fucking up.
What did you put in the sauce, Logain?
Again.
No, you don't put it in the sauce.
Don't
no
put
ice
it in
and peppers. No ice and peppers. This is not a sauce.
I'm sorry, you put an antifreeze in your wine? What?
That's Taim. And the thing is that Taim had nobody there to tell him, you're fucking up. And he was alone. And he liked it that way. But he made decisions that ultimately led to his downfall. And the White Tower made a choice at one point in time to say that in order to be a positive force in the world, we need to be above. We need to be isolated. We need to be removed so that we can make logical decisions on their behalf without being emotionally involved. And it's a mistake every single time.
Well, I think that we all agree that Rand mismanaged the Black Tower.
Oh, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
That if he
100%.
had taken even a 50% interest in this thing, it would have been great. He had no idea of any of this stuff. What was being taught, he had no idea. He didn't know that men could be like learn how to do this. He didn't know any of this stuff. So if he wasn't so busy, fundraising and, going off to Iowa caucuses and all this, you just stayed in state.
I agree, but I also disagree. And for one very important reason. During the last battle, during Tarmangaiden, one of the battles that we know that is one of the things that happened off page that I hope the show does better justice to is the battle at the Black Tower. Okay? You've got Taim and his lackeys versus Logain and his followers. There's a huge battle, and the Black Tower is reclaimed by men who can channel, who are loyal to the light. I feel like this gives them legitimacy in the world because they earned it themselves, they fought for it themselves, they handled it themselves, And now they're able to say, we are an organization who can help others because we have our affairs in order. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
So I don't know if I necessarily agree with it.
Yes, but it's a low bar that they were going
we're
for.
Supposed to agree on everything. We're the same show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and don't you have it's Josh and right? It's not even yes and it's Josh and.
That's right.
Well, let me ask you guys, as the Black Tower representatives here, what are your thoughts in regards to? So, if we were talking about cataclysms and change and whatnot, what are your thoughts in regards to false dragons? Do you think that they are bad guys?
No.
Definitely not. I think that there can be bad people who proclaim themselves dragon when they are not. And I think that there can be people who keep proclaiming themselves dragon after they know they're not, which is bad. But I don't think that claiming to be the dragon is inherently bad. And there, I think, are plenty of people who legitimately thought that they were who they thought they were.
Right.
And very much were trying to do the best with what they had based on the information that they were given.
And Logain was convinced by the Red Aja to announce his red dragon.
What?
Well done, sir. Well done. Good push. Hashtag
actually, no, that's a lie, Ryan, though. That's something that Swan had made up.
That is never a thing that is actually made clear.
She said they didn't even check. They didn't even know I was lying, or something.
Ooh, let's see what the chat says.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Brother Dan, I'll accept a nerd slap. But it's really hard to take it from you. Like all our guests nerd slap me all over the place. I'm like, ha ha ha.
Ryan, I'm
if you nerd slap me, I'm like, wait, 1, 2. Give me 1, 2.
Oh.
Good timing.
Oh my God!
So
double.
When you get nerd slapped, see, Ryan, here's another one. I'm gonna get backhand. Ready?
The kinetic energy of a nerd slap takes a moment to translate into potential energy. All
right, Al Thorstein, all the way from Alaska. It's unclear. I agree with Al. Hey, new best friend, Al Thorstein. I agree. If you agree with me, you're in my.
All right.
I'm sorry. Are you doubting Daniel Luhu?
Well, no, I just, it's all about numbers right now. If I can get more people to agree with me, truth is subverted.
All right, we have a poll if you want, Ryan. You can.
God damn it! I wish you learned how to do the polls.
I don't know how to do it.
All right, what's the poll?
I heard we can do it. Right?
What is the poll, Dan? Tell me the poll. I'll do it.
What's the question about Logan? Did what was it?
Is the Red Aja thing? Is that a solely a Swan Sanche plot, or is there some truth to it?
Yes, it was Swan lying when she said that the Red Aja set up Logan,
which is viable because at the time she was stilled,
and she said, they don't know that I can lie. What do you know?
Do you know? I want to say though, as far as when you talk about the Black Tower and world-changing events, the world being different and never, ever again going back to what was, you can't have this conversation without talking about Dumai's Wells.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I mean, like, okay. Everyone knows that Josh goes to parties and always has to bring up Dumai's Wells. We're like, he's that guy.
All right, Josh.
But like, all right.
Talk about Dumai's Wells.
I'm ready for it.
Okay, but for real though, for the first time in 3,000-ish years, give or take a few centuries,
they work together.
Male channelers were relevant on the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And thus the world was changed because even Aes Sedai are like, oh, I can't I can't kill someone unless I know they're coming to kill me.
And the
even
Ottoman are
wise
like,
ones,
hold my beer.
even wise ones were like, we will not dignify ourselves by killing someone with the power.
Wait. So you're just saying? Are you saying that you're? Yeah. Are you an incel, Josh?
Neil, or you will be now.
Are you saying like finally men are like standing up and showing their power? Is that what you're saying?
For long enough. Okay.
I didn't know Josh is an incel.
No, but for the Hashimans show up to do my as wells, give 0 fucks,
Yes.
and destroy everything with the power. And it's a horrific, glorious, beautiful sight to be seen.
Yeah.
And it is only as far as battles are concerned, as far as warfare is concerned, it is only rivaled by the addition of dragons.
Okay, I hear that. But but last battle, let's just say last battle, the Forsaken are just doing all of that. Like fucker was like
Exactly.
up there. Yeah, like it's like it was like a hint at what could happen, and then it was happening, but it was just one fucking Forsaken just blasting everyone. Like it scales up even further, which is impressive.
Yes.
But yeah, like what are the implications? So let's talk about Fallout then. Like 9/11 changed American society. How did Do Might As Well change the course of history?
Because now male channelers are a player, and they're unbound in every way.
Uh-huh.
They can do whatever they want. They're not bound by the 3 O's. They can show up, kill a dude, and bounce away, which means that for the first time in the stories, in the current timeline of the stories, the power is valid as a weapon and as a method of destruction towards the end. On a large scale.
I don't know if I would actually necessarily go ahead and include it in the topic that we started this on, but he does have a point.
It from that moment forth, I mean, you've got the Shido that are almost decimated. The only reason they survive is because they retreat. Now, granted, there are still many of them. But you've got Aes Sedai who now look at this and go, oh no.
No.
Many of them, I would
no.
pledge their loyalty to Rand because they understand that men who can channel are a player. And Rand is the dragon. We need to be on his side.
Correct.
It's better to be on the right hand of the devil than to be in his path.
During the last battle, we also see where other societies have completely integrated male channelers, and it's like, yeah, they had to catch up to the groove. You know, for the most part, Randland just either gentled or excised every male who could channel. They're just just go out into the desert and go fight the Dark One, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
get your teeth filed down.
The kin, and it's the same thing with the kin. The kin were excised from the White Tower, and yet they still were a cohesive group that were able to contribute as well.
Super sexist. Like why couldn't the male Aiel band together cooperatively? But
they had to file their teeth down.
Yeah, I know they're just. It's like I felt like it was like what? How do you picture all that happening? Like at the end, it seemed like he just rounded all of them up, like they were like on a conveyor belt directly. Like once they wandered the desert, did he have like a team of people picking them up? Was he doing it himself?
I'm sure there was a welcoming committee when like an Aiel like male would just wander in. They're like, "Hey, brother, you can channel. Come on in. We're gonna make you sharp.
Was it like the Jetson conveyor belt when he gets ready for work? He's just like, psh, he takes a shower, psh, he gets his teeth shaved, psh, moved over to get his perfumed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
All right, so
and then he went and walked his dog on a conveyor belt on the outside of like some huge skyscraper.
All right, so we're getting close to the end, but let's just kind of like summarize things if we can in a broader discussion. Episodes that changed the course of history. What are the top 3? We have the break in the world, and then we have the last
third age, correct?
Yes, we have the break in the world, and then we have the last battle. But what would you say is the biggest like turning point? Yeah.
Personally, I would actually say that it's Rand's breaking of the IEL in.
Okay.
In the Shadow Rising.
Okay.
That's where I actually really feel like it's the biggest, especially given that we're talking about sort of the 9/11-esque stuff.
Yes.
It feels like it's a single country that is forever changed.
Yes.
That lots of other, societies and countries and other things like are affected by, but at the same time, like it's a single group of people whose culture will never be the same ever again from that moment on.
Yep.
I definitely think that that's probably the one that's the most sort of society breaking and the most people changing and the most, whatever, that isn't like actually change the entire world necessarily, but like they will never be the same.
That's a great answer. Good
I like
answer.
that a lot. I was in my mind was going to Lumen Sin, which would be like
nice.
One event that like triggered so many like a snowball effect. What do you got?
I have an
Josh?
answer, but let's hear Josh's.
Yeah.
So my top 3, first and foremost, I agree with
Jesus,
Daniel.
pick. Why do you always gotta?
It was the breaking, it was the last battle, and then you get one. Jesus.
Oh!
No, I'm just kidding.
Josh, what, like,
Assalamu alaikum.
like when your lady's like, "Are you attracted to me?" and you're like, "Well, let me tell you my top 3."
Okay, you know what? Fine. Fine. Do my job.
You might as well.
All right.
That's a
Your
good one.
Honor, the Sorovan Mahal rests.
So my addendum here is
Overruled.
when we're talking the whole 9/11, like the whole thing. The Let's Roll is the Golden Crane rides to Tavern.
Ooh.
And so that is Nynaeve rallying the plane to go take on the.
No. Stop.
No?
Right now. Do not keep going.
All right, that's it.
No, so yeah, Arthur Hawkwing changed the map, and the reason Sean Chen is invading. So that would be Danalu's 9/11 event in WOT. What do you guys say in chat? What is the 9/11 event? That the biggest event that changes the course of history?
Can we just throw out for a moment the awesomeness that happened at WotCon when Kate Rating and Michael Kramer read the Golden Crane flies for Tarman?
Yes.
And I fell asleep.
Ryan
No,
was
you did not.
parked right in front of her.
I felt because I fall
that's
asleep to them
lies,
every
man.
night, so I was like, "Oh my god, I can't do this." I was like, I was so stoked.
Can we also point out the awesomeness of my team just slightly edging your team out, Josh, in defending Gawain?
I don't think that's. I think you remember that differently than what actually happened. I don't. think
It
that was a
definitely
thing.
did not happen. From literally everyone else I've ever talked to about this particular panel, Josh and Critter won.
What? What?
Critter's an actual litigator. She's an actual attorney. We won.
You could, although, all right. So you could say that Rand at the Stone of Tyr was like Tyr's 9/11.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it was like
yeah.
done. They were on a war footing from that moment on, and it was
They
like
spent the entire rest of the series debating their relevancy. And there was even a movement of people that tried to be like, yeah, he pulled Kalendor, but it didn't count.
Man, Bryant, that's a good one, man.
this. Bryant is a killing with this one. You're right about this one. Oh yeah, they gained traveling. That like that'd be as if like 9/11 happened and then they came away with nuclear codes.
Yeah.
They took down a tower and got a code.
And they got intel on it, yeah. Ooh, that's infinitely scarier.
Wow.
Because fuck the Sean Chan, bro.
That would be like if the dude who flew into the Pentagon, like, survived, stole a bunch of, like, intelligence, and somehow made it back to his people, and we're like...
Actually, you know what it would be
plane,
exactly
that was a
like,
missile.
Josh?
What?
Is if he had gone ahead and survived and learned how to teleport and could teach other people how to teleport. Because that's what it is.
Terrifying.
Or if he just found a way that was foolproof against TSA.
I don't know. If you guys would go to my sub channel, where I've been like teaching a transcendental meditation
And Second Amendment rights.
Astral projections. Oh yeah, and yeah, in the astral projection world, you have more rights than you know. I will teach you them.
Open carry.
Go to my The Way of the Extra Leave channel.
The way of the MR.
Hey, this has been an amazing show. I don't know how to wrap this up besides just say, fuck it. It's been 90 minutes. It's been a great show. I want to say thank you, Josh and Daniel.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, right?
Dude,
oh, yeah.
Stoked.
It's a date.
Seriously, this next week's going to be great. Jansen will be back. Jansen is a mover and a shaker in every way. He's going to be back with his entire breakdown of Black Tower in the Fourth Age. I think Josh and Daniel will be impressed. Our newest member of the Tavern Talk crew is Jansen Lashley Haynes, actor extraordinaire from living in Hollywood. We love him. We
Daniel, he lives. His wife is running for district court judge.
And so
Tell him to come to the gathering.
So vote. So everyone vote, even if you don't know her, vote.
He should come to the Gathering Madness. He and his
That would be fun.
Judge to
yeah.
be.
No, he's sweeping. Everyone loves Jansen. If you love Jansen, if you love the puppets, please support us through Patreon.
Were you about to say he's sweeping the nation, Ryan?
Why,
Jansen? This
like
is for
seriously, this shit's so
Come
hard,
to the
and then you
Gathering
like.
Madness.
No, I heard it.
All right, hey, you lead us out, brother Dan.
All right, so guys, thank you for joining us. We are every Tuesday and Sunday. We'll be on Tuesday with Tom from Dragon Mountain is our newest member, and we'll be talking Fires of Heaven. And then next Sunday we'll be on with Josh, Daniel, and maybe Andrew. We'll see if he's available to talk about Fourth Age Black Tower stuff.
Fourth Age Black Tower stuff.
Right?
That's right.
Right? Fourth Age Black Tower stuff.
Because what do you do when you're a nuclear warhead after the last battle has been fought?
Right.
Last battle.
Right. So, thank you, everyone, for joining us as always. We love you and we're proud of you. We have a Patreon, we have a Discord, we have a YouTube. You're on YouTube. We have a Twitter. We have. Yeah, but hit the subscribe. We have a whatever. We have all kinds of stuff.
Brother Dan.
Mattress. Yes,
Wait.
go for it, Ryan.
Oh yeah. Our official sponsor of The Way of the Leaf is Village Mattress. So go to villagemattress.net and look at his inventory. And if you like what you see, then you literally just contact him. This is kind of a weird thing, but you just text him or email him, talk to him about what you want. He will give you a 30 to 50% off It is a real thing. He has amazing inventory.
Right. He has like prices in a book that he doesn't put on a website or anything. So he can work with you, get you seriously like retail, wholesale prices.
Yeah.
At a retail price.
It's cray. Like if you want to up your sleep game, I had, I'd never slept one night until I met this man. And now look at me. Look at these sheets.
He was like a golem. He just we'd be like, "Good night, Ryan," and then he would just go stand, sit in the corner and read Russian literature.
Ryan, how's your back pain?
What back pain?
Oh,
yeah, pain free.
Ryan's mattress is called "Get Rid of Your Chiropractor."
Chiropractors hate him.
All right, Josh and Daniel, can you tell our listeners what you have coming up before next Sunday? So this is relevant.
Before next Sunday, we will be recording. So we record on Tuesday nights. Our Patreons have the option of listening to us record raw and unfiltered. Love the iconography there. That was great. Here in the next few weeks, we're going to have the Gathering Madness, in which we will be gathering in Los Angeles, California. Yeah.
This is the second annual?
This will be actually the fourth.
The fourth annual.
Okay.
Yeah. Is this the first one in LA?
The second one in LA. That's why it's the fourth. So the first one was held in LA on a whim, and it was beautiful, and it only was brought together by Tavern Magic, and you can actually find it on our YouTube. It's a video of Daniel and Andrew and I doing the Taste the Taint challenge, and the production is super high quality.
The Leaf brothers were in the chat, I guarantee it.
And it was awesome. And we have been doing this now this will be the fourth annual Gathering Madness, which means it'll be the fourth year celebration of the Black Tower podcast, because Black Tower podcast has been going for 4 years now.
Wow! Wow!
I know, right?
We'll also be going into season 4 of the Black Tower podcast, because our season 1 was 2 years long.
Yeah.
We like to fuck with everything.
Yeah. At the very beginning of the show, they were all like as smooth as a egg out of a hen's ass.
Seriously, they all look like high school senior photos.
If you go hashtag Taste the Taint on YouTube, you'll find our first video, and I have
really short red hair and none of this. Josh has none of this. Andrew has none of this.
None of this.
You guys are so cute.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. And we'll have at least one celebrity at the Gathering Madness.
All right, what are the dates of this?
So it's October 15th and 16th.
Is that Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, it's Saturday, Sunday. So you can find information at blacktowerpod.com. There's a little button at the top that says 4th Annual Gathering Madness. Just click that.
Do you have a couch for me to stay on?
Yeah, Ryan's like 6-hour drive away.
Do you have a couch for me?
No excuse for him not to go.
We do. We do have an Airbnb. So, Brother Ryan, if you're going to be there, I need to know right now. You need to RS Vizzle Pizzle. We need to make this happen.
Do the Vizzle Pizzle, right?
RS Vizzle Pizzle. Hey, let's end the stream.
Well, hold on real fast, because people voted. We had...
let's end the poll.
We did a poll.
Did the Red Aja convince Logain to proclaim the Dragon Reborn?
All right, the end the poll, and it's a 59 to 41%. No, negative.
The Red Aja is just misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
No,
they're actually a very noble organization.
Wow.
I'm going to have to go and prep some wine, because clearly Josh has lost it.
I didn't say I want to talk to him. What?
All right, cool. It's still Josh. Never mind. We're good.
That was the most anti-Black Tower thing I've ever heard. The red are just misunderstood.
All right. Hey, let's see you next week for Fourth Age in the Black Tower. We'll see you guys. We love you and we respect you. Run for your lives. This is The Way of the Leaf.